Guess who's finally back? After almost 5 whole months of inactivity, I've returned. Anyways, I'm hoping to be more consistent with videos, and this time I'm actually taking action. See, by the time I upload this, I hope to have a couple more videos in the works, or ready to go, so that I can have them ready to upload sooner. So I'm hoping to be more consistent from now on. Anyways, enough rambling, on to the video topic. Welcome to Altinais. We're going to start today with this country's physical geography. Altinais is a small country in Nezipon, located right here on the continent of Pagafris, bordered by Orish to the west, Blinkervun to the south, Ariabor to the east, and the Altina Gulf to the north. Altinais is a country that's very far south, which means it's pretty cold, but the country is mainly kept warm by a warm ocean current coming from the north. Here are some physical maps of Altinais. The country is pretty flat and mostly has a humid continental climate, which makes it pretty good for agriculture, but the higher elevation areas in the southwest can get subarctic. On to the demographics. There are about 4.6 million people living here, mostly lupines, which are a species based on anthrowolves. However, about 13% of the population are humans, predominantly of Maoshan and Ichisa descent. The language is Yariba, which is a language they share with Ariabor. Most of the population lives in or near the capital of Altimivir, and they follow Lyrism, which is the monotheistic religion that believes light is the physical incarnation of God. Anyways, here are some of the economic stats for you economy nerds. Overall, this country's pretty mid, and their economy mainly relies on agriculture, fishing, and logging, and to a more minor extent, they do have an oil industry due to some oil in the Altina Gulf. However, they're not nearly as reliant on Gulf oil as our next country. The crime rate in Altinais is pretty bad, comparable to countries such as Kalabitai, Sawa, and Pirzion, or Mexico, Algeria, and North Korea if you were counting Earth. The stability index is 50.4, which rates from 1 to 120, so it's actually, with 120 being the worst, so it's actually not that bad. Then the life expectancy index, which is a new index I made up to sort of counteract the different species' lifespans. Basically, I just take the life expectancy and divide it by the species' average lifespan to get the LEI. The LEI of Altinais is 1.165, which is actually pretty good. Here is their flag. The colors featured on the flag are red and green, which tend to stand for death and life. And the flag also features a white compass, which basically just means home. Some interesting stuff about this place. On to the history! I'm going to try and cut back on this segment from now on since it's pretty hard to make. Anyways, about Altinais history. It's been kind of independent on and off ever since this first civilization with a long name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. They have been subordinated a lot by their neighbors Orish and Ariabor, and for a while they were even colonized by Tagmadia of all places. They were even split between Tagmadia and Ariabor in the early 5000s, but they got their independence and were reunited in 5301. And they've sort of just been chilling ever since. So, their closest allies are Ariabor and Maoti, which are really good trade partners, and pretty culturally similar. Their worst enemy is Tagmadia, not just because of the colonialism thing, but also because Tagmadia is a pretty strict authoritarian regime that very regularly violates human rights in the name of religion. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace!